What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Trevor has played Crash Team Racing Part 5. We are here in Insanity Beach. We will begin going after all of the CTR and the relic, the CTR tokens and the relics here in Insanity Beach. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this one, one of the purple ones.
Collect every crystal in the arena before the time runs out. If you can get them all, you will win a prize.
And so the crystals make sort of a cameo appearance in this game. They're not the main focus of the game like in the previous two titles. All you have to do is just collect them by racing around on one of the two-player battle arenas, the ones that are available to you at the start of the game. You go on a new save file. And all you have to do is just go around and collect 20 crystals that are placed in different locations around the track. There is no, you do have a time limit, so you have to be careful about how you get them and the order in which you get them. But there is no real set order that you have to get them in. It's just, you know, if you can get them all in, I believe it was a minute 30. That's fine. You have to be careful to look around everywhere. They're not really hidden all that well. You know, they're actually pretty easy to find for the most part. But you don't want to take too much time. You can see I'm already running low on time, and you can see this design here at the bottom right of the screen. You can actually use this while racing normally, but it will replace the map, and that's a jump counter and kind of a like a speedometer type thing. That's not really what it is, but the jump thing is definitely very useful. Well, it's not useful, but it's nice to have. You know, if you want to use it. Now you see here, you can either choose the race type if on race tracks that have a CTR challenge or a relic challenge. We'll start with the CTR challenge first.
Collect the letters C, T, and R on each track and come in first place to win a CTR token. Beware, some letters are hard to find.
Very hard to find, especially as we go later on to the tracks in both. Really, it kind of starts to get harder in the Lost Ruins. Once you get to Papu's Pyramid onward, things will get a lot. That's when things will start to get a lot harder. Not every track will be very hard, but just some of the. But pretty much after Dragon Mines onward is when every single letter will get very hard to find. So you have to be very careful and not think of this like a race. You have to be. You have to think about it like you're trying to find stuff, and because a lot of these will be hidden in areas just like that. For most tracks, you can get every single letter every lap. You do have 3 laps to be able to get all of the letters. That is useful. If you have the super speed boost pad on, that kind of helps a little bit, so that it doesn't totally ruin your race. You know, you can get up pretty easily back to the front if you need to, or you know, obviously you need to, but it definitely helps. I love doing that, laying something down and, you know, hitting them with a missile or something like that, and then laying something down in their path so that they will get hit by it. And I actually think Dingo has come in second before. Now that I think about it, I had mentioned in part 4 that I wasn't sure if Dingo had come in second before, but I believe he has. But it doesn't matter. If I can hurry up and win the race, he can hurry up and get in first. And I at least know Cortex's line. So, and as long as Dingo doesn't take that same line, I should be okay. But I'll try to not lay anything down that will mess him up. There we go. And that's pretty much it. If you can get everything on the first lap, all of the letters, you can run the track just like a regular race, which makes it a lot more fun and a lot more easier to do. And you can afford to do what I did, you know, waste a whole bunch of time on the first lap and then play catch up on the last 2 laps, but you have to be careful doing that on some of the later tracks, especially if you miss letters.
Get the lowest time you can by racing fast and breaking time crates. Each time crate you break will freeze the clock. If you achieve a low enough time, you will be awarded a relic.
As you go on with later tracks, you know, some of the harder ones to get to if you miss those letters, but you still had to waste a whole bunch of time getting to that where that letter was. It's not as easy to play catch up like it was before. Like on a track like this, where you can get every single letter on the first lap. But anyway, so this is pretty much what he said. You know, get the lowest time possible. Except you're racing instead of running through linear levels like in Crash 3. Something that you have to be careful for, though, is you can see that these boxes are laid out in certain patterns. You don't want to hit too many of them on any one lap. You want to try to save a few here and there. But you can see that there is a set number of boxes for each level. If you can get all of the boxes, you will get a 10-second time reduction, which will definitely help you out as you go. You know, for your final time. You know, you may have, say, I'm not sure of a time off the top of my head. Say like 108, 118 instead of 117. Well, you could just hit that. You know, get all in you, but you got all 10 boxes. Well, you'll still be able to get to it. And what it really helps doing is going after the platinum relics. There are platinum relics in this game, sadly, and they are pretty difficult to get for most tracks. Not every single track, but a lot of them have really short times and not really well placed boxes. So you have to be very careful in the pattern in which you hit the boxes. Like going out of boxes like this that are out of your way, you may want to try to get on the first lap. I was thinking that those were high timed boxes and it would definitely help you out if you got them in a certain order. What you want to do is you want to try to get the boxes that are out of the way on the first 2 laps, and then save all of the high timed boxes and the boxes that are where you can make a whole lot of time on you know, for the third lap, so that you can gain a whole bunch of time and try to help yourself out. But you saw there that I did get a time bonus, but I had still beat the time anyway. It was about 52 something. Thankfully, in this game, they tell you what time it was. You know, even though it's not really that useful if you already beat it, but it does, I guess, help for later on. I'm not sure if they still tell you the time even if you haven't beat the... if you don't beat the relic, I don't know for sure. But anyway, so that's pretty much what it is. You just have to make sure that you get all the boxes. But in a case where you don't get all the boxes, you don't want to waste a whole bunch of time trying to get every single box. Like with Ruse Tubes here, there's actually about 2 boxes that are really hard to get to. And if you mess those up, like on the first lap, there's really no point in trying to go after every single box. So when something like that happens, you want to try and just get all the boxes that will help you out. You don't want to go out of your way for any one box or a set of boxes, you know, just because that will slow you down way too much. And you want to be careful about doing that. That's something, you know, missing the letters, especially on jumps like that where you can overshoot them pretty easily. And I'm not sure if that has something to do with the fact that I have the sorry, I was out in the grass. I thought it was somewhere on the other side of the track up. I'm not sure if that has something to do with I don't think it does, because there wasn't a boost pad. I was gonna say I'm not sure if that has something to do with the fact that I have the super boost pad on, or if I just missed the jump, and that's kind of a hard jump to get to, and that's the same jump where the boxes can really mess your chances of getting a good, or of trying to get all the boxes, just because there are 3 boxes over that jump, and if you end up missing one, it definitely hurts. If you can use that shortcut by cutting on the inside of that final turn, that will help your chances of getting at least a gold. You don't want to, you want to stay on the track and try to get the regular boxes, all of the time boxes if you can. Just so that, in case something like that happens where you lose a little bit of time, but you can still get around here about mid to high 26 seconds. But that definitely will help you out. But that won't help you get a platinum relic. The only way that you can get a platinum relic is to try and get 95% of the time boxes. You don't have to get every single one, but if you can get at least 95% of all time boxes on any one track, that will definitely improve your chances of getting a platinum relic. It'll easily get you a gold relic unless you just waste a whole bunch of time going after all the boxes. But if you try to at least set a fast time and try to get the boxes at the same time, that will definitely help you out. But anyway, it's always a good idea to look behind you at the start of a race just to see which, just make sure that there are no boxes behind you, and to see which kind of boxes that are behind you if there are any. And going through a section like this, you want to be careful not to hit any high timed boxes. You may want to try to get all the boxes on the outside, and you want to make sure you don't do stuff like that. That'll definitely slow you down way too much. But you want to make sure that you try to knock out any boxes that are out of the way, just so that it doesn't, you don't have to go wide for, a whole bunch of boxes. And that's the kind of the thing that will, you waste 4 seconds trying to go after a 3-second box, or you wasted 4 seconds going after by going after and hitting a 3-second box, when you could have just stayed on the inside of the corner and still gained quite a bit of time. And you have to be careful at clumps like that. You want to make sure that you hit all of the harder to get boxes out of the way first, just so that you don't end up messing up your, by having to stop or slow down. You don't want to stop or slow down. And you want to be, this is kind of, making sure that you hit all the boxes on one line. That's a prime example of it. I had to stop and slow down a lot more than I wanted to. And you definitely want to be careful doing stuff like that. That's definitely going to hurt my overall time. But I believe I should be doing good enough. Yeah, I should get a platinum time. So you see, you don't have to go after every single box to get it. As long as you can get it under 55 seconds, you'll get the platinum. Easy with no problems at all. But anyway, so these are pretty easy to get. Most of the time you can get a gold pretty easily. It's not too difficult to get gold. The platinums are the hardest things to get, just like it with Crash 3, but in Crash 3 it was kind of hard to get the golds as well for a lot of tracks. So in this game they made it a lot easier to get the golds, and there is a, just like in Crash 3, you got an extra gem if you was able to get all of your relics either gold or platinum. You got a gem at the end of the game. Well, there's something that you can get. I don't remember if you don't get a gem or anything like that. I think it's just you get 102% or 101% if you get all of the all the relics, either gold or platinum. You may get something else. I don't remember exactly. But I think there is a bigger prize for going after the all of the gold or platinum relics than that. I think I missed a letter. No. You want to be careful hitting that one. You want to try to hang out on the outside as much as possible, so that you don't end up missing the. I think I didn't miss any letters, but you want to be careful about getting the C over that one jump. You want to hang out as wide as possible, and then try to make it more of a straight line, especially if you have the super boost pads on. You can actually go over the fence and end up falling off into the lava, which won't do nothing other than just slow you down. But you want to be careful, about slowing down anyway, especially if you don't have a really big lead on the other racers, because you still can lose even if you get all of the CTR tokens. As if you don't come in first, you will lose the race, and you'll have to do it all over again, so you want to be very careful about what you lost my train of thought. About how you go through the rest of the race. You want to make sure that you can stay far enough ahead of the other racers that you can't afford to mess around with a letter if you have trouble with it, and you don't lose a whole bunch of time by trying to go after the letter. But with super speed boost pad, or the super boost pads on, that definitely helps out with a lot of it. That's a shame. I was hoping Dingo wouldn't have got hit, but the podium doesn't come up for a CTR race, only with the Relics, and you're the only one standing there on the podium with the on the Relics. So it really doesn't matter where these other racers come in, what positions they come in during the CTR race, and thankfully you don't have to go to the podium just for a CTR token. That definitely helps make it not quite as annoying going after both the CTR tokens and the Relics at the same time, just because you start right in front of the portal to the race, so that you don't have to drive as far. Once you beat the Relic race, you're pretty much done with that particular track. So that, and you go to the podium, you can immediately find the next track that you need to go to, and you can go to it pretty easily. And this is another track that's pretty difficult to go after all of the boxes on, just because a lot of them are kind of stuck out of the way. And if you do have the super boost pads on, it does hurt you while going through this section with the 3 jumps, because you can actually overshoot a lot of these boxes. A way to counteract that is by not touching the gas while you're going over the boost pads. That will slow you down. Once you go over the jumps, or once you get off the boost pad, you'll immediately begin to slow down, and so it won't hurt you as bad as it would have normally. Those last 3 boxes there are not too bad. If you miss them, you just want to try to get them, at least knock out 2 of them within the second lap. But even if you still don't do that, you don't have to really worry all that much. You can still drive into them. I think that messed me up there. But you can drive into them in a straight line, and you won't lose all that much time. That's about 4 seconds. So it really doesn't. It won't affect you as bad. You just have to be careful not to miss any boxes along those jumps. If you do, even through these turtle jumps, you want to make sure that you don't miss any of those boxes that are kind of lined up there. There we go. So I hit one. I'll just run into the other 2 when I get to them. But I think I missed 2 boxes up here somewhere, so it doesn't really matter all that much. Yeah, this is stupid. You do not want to do this, because you lose so much time, a lot more time than 10 seconds can erase. So you want to be very, very careful about doing that, and I may end up actually getting a sapphire here if I'm not careful. There we go. The rest of these boxes I've left that I can easily get to them. Just those last 2 in the lineup here are the ones that are the worst to get. You just miss the turtle. You really want to do that with the 2 as well, because it won't make you lose quite as much time. You still see there about 1:32. Not too bad. So you don't actually have to go after all the boxes. but it still helps, you know, if you do, as long as you don't waste time doing it. If you don't, as long as you don't have to actually go backwards to go after a box, you should be fine. Running into the wall like I did really didn't help. I should have left the 2 box and then just ran into a straight line and tried, and not ran into the wall, just tried to slide and hit the wall going sideways. That would have helped out a lot better. But anyway, now this track here is very difficult to try to get a gold on, as much less a platinum. I've never been able to get a platinum here just because there are so many boxes hidden around and so many different paths and things that you can take that it actually slows you down trying to go after every single box. And so I usually don't. I just try to, you know, go through and get all of the go after and try to get all of the time crates that I can that are along the way, and just try to get the best time possible. Now, if you notice there, all of the bad guys were lined up in the on the front row. You can actually see that from time to time. It's not as I'm actually surprised this is the first time that we've seen it in this playthrough. I've seen it several times leading up to a race. Now you can see, there you go. It only slightly inconvenienced Dingo. It didn't throw him down the hole. That's the bad thing about using beakers and placing them over holes, just because you don't you can actually get them to fall down the holes. Even TNTs will affect you, or will affect your ability to knock someone down a hole, unless they can immediately jump over another hole and have the TNT explode. I'm surprised it didn't get blown up by that. Now this is another racing line you can actually hit. You have to swing out very wide to be able to hit them, but just so that I don't hit, and I'll see if Tiny can actually get hit by it. No. That's why I usually just lay things right down the middle of the track, but since Dingo's going down that way, I didn't want to affect him. And Dingo's going to get hit by that, so I guess it really doesn't matter. I'll just try to end this as quickly as possible. Now, if you can hit this, this is a very hard shortcut to go into, and I think I'll go around this way just to show it off, because I probably won't do it going into the... I guess you don't have to swing out quite so wide. Oh, wow. Well, that didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to, but you don't have to swing out quite as wide as I did, but it is very difficult to actually try to line anything up there and actually make it work. And you want to be careful laying objects down in your own racing line, just because more often than not you'll actually hit them. If you forget where they were, you'll actually end up hitting them. And if you notice all of the colors of the tokens, we've already seen 2 red tokens. That means both of those tracks will be in the red cup. Any tracks that have green tokens will be in the green cup. Any tracks that have blue tokens will be in the blue cup, as well as the blue ring on the outside of the portal. Whatever color that ring is, that means they'll be in whichever gym cup. If they're red, they'll be in the red cup. Blue cup. Green cup. And yellow cup. And purple will be in the purple gym cup. But the only purple events are the battles, or the crystal collecting ones that you have to collect all of the crystals for. But anyway, so you can see here just how there are 65 boxes. The sapphire time is pretty low, and the platinum time is even lower. So you don't want to waste a whole bunch of time, and there's a whole bunch of boxes littered around everywhere. Down here, up there. So it's hard to hit every single box, just because of something like that might happen. You just end up missing a box. Like up here, you can actually miss. Yeah, there's boxes up above the jump, and having the super boost pads will affect your chances of getting every single box here. So you may not want to run around through here with those, with that cheat turned on. But if you can hit well over, I would say, half of the boxes, that will definitely help you out. You want to be careful again to boost. The boost pads can actually, the super boost pads can actually end up affecting you. And there is a pattern that you can do that will help you out, that will help make sure that you can hit every single box, but it's very difficult to figure out, and it's a lot harder to do, so you may not want to worry about it. Like, I don't actually worry about hitting every single one of these boxes. I'll usually just wait, or try to go through the shortcut and hit all the boxes up, or try to get a good portion of the boxes up there, and then just not worry about the rest. That was weird. So I'll try to go along the shortcut and see if I can get up there. Very good. About 9 seconds, so you can save right there. And then you have the 3 boxes along there that you can get. And I should have went along one of those sides, but I wasn't paying attention. This is why you want to be very careful about not leaving boxes, or sections of the racetrack, not have any boxes around them, just because you will actually lose time by doing that. And if I would have got all the boxes, I believe that would have definitely pushed me under the, below the time that I needed to get the platinum. I would have got the platinum, but I'm not too worried about it. As long as I can get gold, I really don't care. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about the trivia and everything for the, well, just the other relic times for all the tracks that I've done so far. For at least for gold, anyway. Alright, so for Crash Cove, Sapphire 117, Gold 105, and Platinum 52. Seconds, just by themselves, you don't have to worry about any tints or anything like that. For Ruse Tube, Sapphire 115, Gold 105, Platinum 55. Let's see. The Mystery Caves next. Mystery Cave, Sapphire 155, Gold 144, and Platinum 132. Thankfully, none of these seem to have any tints like they did in Crash 3, which makes it a little bit easier to try to go after the Platinums, or, the Relics. Sapphire 133, this is for Sewer Speedway. Sapphire 133, Gold 105, Platinum 37 seconds. So you definitely have to try to get most of, if not all of, the Platinum Relics to try to get the Platinum. But this is actually a track where you can get negative times, but there's a pattern with the boxes that you have to hit. You have to hit certain boxes on certain routes and all that to be able to get a negative time, and that's pretty difficult to do. But anyway, so I'm going to end the video here. Thank you for watching this. There won't be a challenge video because I'm using this as a informational video just to show you how to get platinum and gold times for these tracks. So in part 6 we will be in the Lost Ruins. So until then, later everyone.